You know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in. You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in.
It's been 3 years, and that intro still slaps. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. You are now listening to the All Dressed Up podcast, live and direct. One from my house and two from the hood. Streams, tell them who you are. This is episode 125. Oh, top or bottom bunk. We're going to get into
Man,
that, but tell them who you are. Half a lump.
pause. By
What
the way,
up?
pause on the title. But what's good, man? It still have streams, man. It's still me. You know, the last time I did an episode remote outside my studio, I was in Miami. Tonight, I'm at a closed location, but we're here. The All Dressed Up podcast is back. We're live at 9. Hopefully, y'all can hear me, man. Let me know as everybody rolls in the chat. What's good, Sal?
Sal's in the building. What up, Sal? Undisclosed location. I love it. I love it, man. Here's the deal, Pickle. Nothing's kosher as it stands, man. We're going to get rolling in this fast and furious because there's a lot to talk about tonight. Um, a lot to talk about tonight because everybody's feeling some type of way on a multitude of different situations and circumstances. But let's get into the light stuff. Oh, I didn't even ask, man. How you feeling, man? How's your time been off? What you got cooking,
Man,
bro? What's
it's,
going
it's,
on?
it's been it's been a lot, man. You know, it's been a lot of behind on getting the comeback series, revamped and up and running. We got a lot of guests lined up, so stay tuned. So you will be seeing some of those episodes dropping. Spending a lot of time with the family though, man. Spending time with the baby. Went out today, went to the pumpkin patch with the family, had a great time. So yeah, just doing the everyday stuff. But I know you had a lot going on, K. It's been good with you.
Oh man, in and out of everywhere. I want to shout out my nephew Cole Clark. Playing for Elon College. He was in town playing Towson University. Had a great game. They won that game. So shout out to the nephew doing his thing in college playing
That's what's up.
football. Love you, brother. The family showed up and showed out for him. But outside of that, like you said, family stuff. Everything is everything.
Yeah.
Settling in. Got a lot of stuff cooking, like you said. We'll talk about something I got cooking with my sisters a little bit later because Sal Joseph starts the conversation off hot and heavy. Let's get it out of the way. Debo Fat and RG Daniels is
Hey,
back.
man. You
He's
know,
trying to give you that your Commanders winning this week, man.
all right. So look, the NFL is a what have you done for me week by most cases. I mean, the Commanders really pissed me off, man. Pissed me off. I was in a group chat with y'all today. Very, very
Hmm.
unhappy with the defense. Very unhappy with Jaden Daniels and how he's looking. But again, I got to be realistic. I got every season is different. It's not last year.
Yeah,
It's not. And to be 3-2 and beating the team and the Chargers with the fourth best NFL ranked defense. I mean, it's a good job. And like I was telling you before we went live, if they can beat the Bears and the Cowboys over the next 2 weeks, which are two games that I think they should win, they'll be 5-2 and in a good position to chase Philly. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna pass it back to UK Dizzle because Sal's already on fire.
he's
He's
already on.
crying about the referees. I've never seen this much. You already too crying about the referees. Go ahead. What makes you think the referees lost you guys the game today against the Denver Broncos?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at
Hey Ma, hey
all
Ma,
in the
thank you
chat
for
or
tuning in,
nothing.
Ma Dukes.
Mama happens in the building. Let's go. I hear you. I didn't say anything about the refs at all. What I did say was we lost not because Broncos were a better team, but because we made more mistakes. You go back and read the chat, bro. Read the chat. I never said
Okay.
anything about the refs.
Maybe I'm tripping.
Okay, you tripping? It wasn't me. I said we made more mistakes that caused us the game than the Broncos made more plays. And so, a lot of
Okay.
callbacks, a lot of stuff, a lot of just mental mistakes. And so I don't blame anything other than the fact that we lost that game. We didn't get beat. We technically lost that game because of the mistakes we made. We made some conversions that got
Well,
called
something
back.
happened. Something happened.
What
I
some no,
want you
yeah,
to tell
something
me
did
what
happen.
happened, K Dizzle. I'm sorry to cut you off, but when I turned away and tuned back in, y'all were up, I think, like two possessions for like most of the early part of the game. And I
Yes.
was like, pretty much counting Denver out in my parlay. I wasn't expecting the Philly game to mess up the parlay too. I mean, we're gonna talk about the Ravens, but what happened in the middle of the game when you guys let them come back? What was going on?
Penalties that kept their drives alive. It was penalties that we made on defense that helped them keep their drives alive. Where there were plenty of stops on third downs that we got stupid penalties for that continued it down the field. So um, that I mean, truthfully, that's it. And a lot of three and outs that we had were penalties on plays, big plays that were called back. I mean, one big one was at the end. One of our last drives was a 4th and 4 call, and that was a big toss to Devontae Smith that he caught. That got called back because it was called a illegal shift or something like that on Saquon Barkley. So I'll take this L in stride 100%. I think it's going to do us some good, going to humble us and bring us back down to earth because again, everybody wants us to be the team from last year when we're not. Again, like you said, it's a new team, it's a new year, and we've got a
Right.
lot of different things we got to learn and work and process through. So I feel good about us going into the bye, not losing another game. We play the Giants twice and we play the Vikings. So I see us going in there as what's that, 7-1? And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all where we are.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, y'all are still the best team. Y'all are clearly the best team in the NFL, man. A lot of the outside fans of the league, we're just tired of hearing the Eagles fans run around and celebrating that Super Bowl. So we want to see some early competition. But right now, I mean, you guys are definitely setting a standard. Denver got a great win. Still a
Mhm.
team that I think is going to be tough around November and December. So watch out for Denver. But yeah, man, Philly's setting the mark in the NFC. The Commanders are chasing. And
What's going on?
I just really want to talk about the Ravens, man.
What is going on with the Ravens?
I mean, the Ravens really. I hope people know that we are live tonight. I hope people understand that yes, it's been a few weeks since we've been on. And we do have a lot of nerve to come back on and start bashing the Ravens like within the first 10 minutes of the show. But I wish that we had more. I wish that we had more listeners in the chat right now. But
They coming.
hopefully, people still roll in. K does will put the number up if anybody wants to chime in. But I had the nerve to text some friends before I picked my parlay today, and I said, "Are the Ravens going to beat the Texans? Because the Texans are awful."
Texans are awful.
And a lot of the Ravens were telling me in response, they weren't that confident to me. They weren't really responding like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna cook the Texans. Yeah, we're good. We're a good bet." So I should have known because even the Ravens fans didn't think they were going to win.
Yep. Well, Lamar Jackson was out, and but more importantly, you still got Derrick Henry. You're still a powerful team, but
Yeah,
yet you couldn't do anything. Couldn't do anything.
you can't tell
So
me
I think
you
the Ravens
can't tell
are
me
in free
because
fall.
Lamar Jackson is out. You can't tell me because Lamar out the Ravens should be automatic L for that game. It's the Texans, man. Like when Marcus Mariota plays for the Commanders, I still think the Commanders got a chance. They had Cooper
Yeah.
Rush. Cooper Rush is not Marcus Mariota, but like you said, they
Nope.
got Derrick Henry and they've got other weapons. But the real problem, the elephant in the room with the Ravens is their defense is terrible.
There you go.
It's
There you
not your
go.
grandfather's Baltimore Ravens defense. It's
If
not your
everybody can
granddaddy's
put up
Ravens
40 on you,
defense.
you got bigger troubles, my friend. You got bigger troubles, my friend. You saw it, and that's the only thing I give Philly, bro. They only had 3 points going into the last quarter. They put the work in on that defense, but the sloppiness of both sides of the ball got the best of them, and that's the only thing you can do. But the Ravens are in a free fall right now. And so, like you said, I don't know
Absolutely.
what the Bills are looking like playing the Pats right now with them fumbling and do all other stuff, but this might be the last week of the undefeated teams because that's an interdivision game tonight, and that can go either way. But overall, first
Absolutely.
quarter of
But
the season is done. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick before we move on from the NFL that the two teams that I think, that might cause some trouble going into the later part of the season is the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, I didn't expect the Steelers to be as competitive as they are. They got Aaron Rodgers. They got a good defense. If that defense keeps playing well, they're going to compete. The Ravens, like you said, on a downfall. And then you look at the Colts. The Colts have a team that are led by Daniel Jones, who's got a lot of experience. And as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, and as long as he keeps playing that above average game manager style football, the Colts are going to be a tough team to beat. You don't want to play them. Sal says he gives Jalen an F for the first quarter. I can't stand watching Jalen Hurts play quarterback. He doesn't.
You give him an F for the first.
I can't. I
First
can't.
quarter.
Just to keep it real, I'm a hater, man. I don't enjoy watching it, man.
You don't enjoy watching it right now because it don't look that good. That's it. That's it. That's why I don't look that good. What's up, Nene?
Hey,
The truth,
Shanae.
truth
What's
of the
good,
matter is
Shanae?
he plays high quality football. He was 13 for 19 in the first half with a touchdown with like 185 yards. So I don't know what Sal's looking at, what game he was watching, but we'll let the
Spoken
man.
like a true Eagles fan. Spoken
So,
like a true Eagles fan.
but before this is the last conversation we'll have for the NFL because we're gonna move on. Shout out to Nate's in the building, but we have to talk about this. Bad Bunny is going to be the Super Bowl halftime show this year. And the fact that they chose him is causing major controversy. I'm going to ask you first to tell me what you think about this pick for Super Bowl halftime show.
Just not surprised overall. The NFL is a business, and its entertainment
Hmm.
division is led by Rock Nation. And Bad Bunny's the biggest global entertainer outside of Taylor Swift. So when you look at it, I'm not surprised. Like, get ready. Hopefully, it's a good show. About 60% of the fans are gonna love it. They might say it's the best Super Bowl performance of all time. Don't be surprised if you don't see that. And then the other 40% are gonna hate it. And that's what makes the Super Bowl the biggest stage to have that halftime show. So I'm just not surprised, bro.
I think it is the perfect statement to make in a climate such as we have right now in America to have an American artist who predominantly speaks Spanish, is brown, to come to one of the world's biggest stages and perform in front of millions of Americans when we are
Yeah.
living in a time where we are being rounded up because of the color of our skin and nothing more. So shout out to Apple, Rock Nation, the NFL signing off on this. And look, half the people didn't know that he was American. They forget that Puerto Rico is an American territory. And if you are born in Puerto Rico, you are an U.S. American citizen. So shout out to them making this bold statement and putting not just because of who he is, but because he's a phenomenal entertainer. You said it first. He's one of the biggest artists in the world, in the entire world. So shout out to
Yeah.
them choosing the right
And the
person.
NFL showing that they're trying to tap out. Yeah, they're trying to show you that they're trying to really get entrenched in overseas and
Mhm.
around the world. So what better opportunity to put Bad Bunny on stage, and it's gonna be a good show, man. I
Yeah,
think it was a good decision. Um I'm glad that it wasn't Taylor Swift. Because they could have definitely did some crazy, stuff like that. But we'll take a Bad Bunny halftime show.
sure. All right. So which way you want to go right now? Because we can talk about the top or bottom bunk. We can talk about. I did put Mark Sanchez up there. He's riding a white horse, getting drunk, and got stabbed. Originally, they thought somebody did something to him. But lo and behold, He was out there, on the cocaine highway. Let me stop that. The story goes he was doing wind sprints before he got stabbed while he was drunk.
Mark
Retired quarterback.
Sanchez was out there running from ghosts. He out there seeing ghosts and running in the streets at night, and they say he doing wind sprints.
Retired NFL quarterback, New York Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez gets stabbed while he's out there having an altercation with with many of folks, and it was big, big, big news. But you out there riding the white horse. That's what happens. Let's
Pray for
get let
Mark
me let me
Sanchez, man. Pray for
let's talk
Mark.
about the elephant in the room or in the bars. Diddy gets sentenced to 50 months in prison. Okay. Lo and behold, the drama has now come to a finale. He will literally be this on the second floor, below the third floor. It's where R. Kelly would be. I don't know. It's conjecture. But he's got 50 months he's got to do. He's been sentenced. And thoughts and prayers? I'm sorry. What do you think about? How do you feel
I mean,
about this coming
what
to
do
a close?
you? I'm just happy that for him it's over, man. Or maybe it's just begun. But at the end of the day, it could have been a lot worse, man. Just like the judge said, the judge told him best when he gave him the sentence. He was like, "You are gonna get another shot." Like to him and his family, he was like, "You're gonna be okay," because the
Hmm.
the judge knows for a fact he could have got the book thrown at Diddy in there, and Diddy came off light, in my opinion, on the 50 months, man. And hopefully at the end of the day, all the parties involved go away, the lawsuits settle down, he can chill out, find himself, get himself healthy over the next 50 months, get away from that baby oil and all that crazy shit he been doing, and find some resolution and peace, man, because it's been a long unnecessary journey, man. And I don't think the world deserved to really be caught up in this madness of all this these freak offs and all this craziness that they were out there doing. But like I said, for all parties involved, it's finally over. I think he got off light.
I think he got off light too. I mean, they tried to lay it on thick. I know he had like 17 lawyers in there doing their last dissertation. I heard one of them was crying in there, talking about how he, he inspired her to be a lawyer and all this other stuff. And um, doing all great things in life don't wash away the bad things that you do. And I think the importance of Sean Combs going through this process is to really expose the mere fact that if you are in the entertainment industry or any industry at all, and you abuse your power in such a manner that you try to control people or abuse other people, regardless of the money you have, you are still going to be held accountable. It's not acceptable in any
Mhm.
sense of the word. It's not acceptable, and this just goes to show, hey, we are doing something that bringing this stuff to light, and you are going to pay your time. Same with Epstein. Same with the Disney Kids documentary. When they expose that executive, these things need to happen. These people have to pay the cost of ruining other people's lives. Just being abusive, thinking they can get away with everything because they feel like they have everything. So it's important that he did do some time, and he did have to pay and atone for his sins. He said that's only the black people. The white man still gets slaps on the wrist and sent home. I agree with that statement. I'm going to agree with that statement. And unfortunately, sometimes if you have enough
But
money
shit,
and you
but I
have the
tell
right
you what though, the
representation,
one person the one person who
go
didn't
ahead.
get slapped on the wrist and sent home and was white was just Lane. Just Lane Maxwell got punished. She was a casualty.
Straight
She was a casualty, man. But I definitely feel what Shanae's saying. But you can't have all that evidence and all that hearsay, and then the video of him, even though he wasn't on trial for kicking Cassie, when that came out, a lot of his support. And once you're in that position, you can only keep paying off so many people, 50 months is 50 months. He's already done a year. He'll probably do he'll probably be in a halfway house by 2027.
18
You know what
months.
I'm saying? He might do
He'll
another
probably do 18
2 years.
months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He'll probably do 18 months and get out on good time or whatever the case may be. She is a female. We second class. Ooh, ooh, Shanae.
Yeah,
Look,
Shanae
we can
always,
we can go
has
we
that
can do a lot with that.
stance on
Unfortunately, in the current climate,
in there.
yeah, in the current climate that we live in, um, I don't know why, it's being reverted back to that, but just know in our heart of hearts that we don't believe that. Money talks. It's straight facts, no fiction. If you
Money
got it,
does talk.
for the most part, you
Money
can
does
get out.
talk.
But he got out fairly easy, like you said, 50 months. And so, um, will he ever be the same? No. Will he ever have the same weight?
He
Absolutely
got he
not.
got to find himself, man.
He's got to fade to the
He's got
background,
to
figure
find
out another
himself,
avenue.
man, because that's a hell of a second chance, man, to really be sitting down for about 3 4 years after getting charged. And pretty if he did it or didn't do it to the max, he was involved in a lot of that shit. He got off, man.
Mhm.
He really did.
How do you come back? Let's say he does his time, right? How do you come back after being such a figurehead in not only just the black community, but in the entertainment industry? How do you come back and um, resurrect yourself? What up, Roland? We're talking about Diddy. How does he? He's got 50 months. How does he come back and resurrect himself back into the good graces of the entertainment
He's
world?
got to do it. He's got to do it behind the scenes. He's got to do it behind the scenes. He's got to come out with some type of project, to where he doesn't have to be the forefront of the face of it, and just be a part of some success again, and not be, in like I said, being on the videos, dancing, saying all the shit he used to say. He's got to fall back, in my opinion. Because think about it, if he comes out there with his face on something, he's gonna get the backlash of it. So his best chance, in my opinion, is to do something behind the scenes that he invests in, that he probably helps produce, and build the success that way, and then start getting back into putting his name out there, because it's going to be tough for him to have that type of response, and people are going to be against a lot of shit that he does.
For sure. For sure. I mean, look, I know it's different. It's a completely different lane. But if Robert Downey Jr. figured out the way to do it, I know Diddy can figure out a way to do it because he's still got a lot of time. Prayerfully, he's still got a lot of time left, and he does some positive with the influence that he has remaining from him. So that brings up a good question. If
Well,
R. Kelly gets out,
do you think Kelly could come home? I
see,
was going to say the same thing. It's funny we both, and I don't know if you guys are seeing the lag, but stick with us if there is. But yeah, let's answer that question. Do you think he would get a warm welcome if he came out and dropped a hot album?
yeah, chat. I mean, he dropping he dropping music from jail. But the question is, Chad, answer that question. If R. Kelly got out, would he be accepted back into the community or into the industry? Would you guys accept him back? That's what I want to know. From everybody listening, would you accept him from the back in the
Put it in
industry?
the chat, man. Would y'all support R. Kelly? I know people will go to an R. Kelly show. I wouldn't even ask that question. I think he'd still sell tickets, especially for the 50-year-old, the 50 and over crowd. Would y'all still be fans like of his current music if he put an album out? If he came out and put out a real album?
If he put out an album that was good, I'd probably listen to it. I'd probably listen to it. One thing that'll
Okay.
never go away is the talent. Um, when he did he just did the Malcolm Jamal Warner song. I mean, that was dope. But he's from jail.
I ain't
I
hear it
couldn't
though.
speak on everybody else. There you go. Because one of the things you can't take away from that man is his innate God given ability to write music and write songs that can meet you where you are, but also just be so good, just be eloquent, just touch you where you are. I mean, come on. It's see, they say nope. Nope. Now he
See, some
it would
people don't
be
separate the talent from the artist. We talked about that.
very true. Very true. It would behoove him to not make sexual music when he drops. So if he goes in that lane, then yeah, it's gonna be hard. So R. Kelly ex-wife should have went to jail too. I kind of agree with that to a certain extent. So it's just tough. It's
That's
just
like
tough.
watching.
I mean, do we
That's like
give Diddy the
watching
same grace when he comes back?
asking R. Kelly to not make that type of music. Asking R. Kelly to not make that type of music is like watching Ray Lewis play flag football.
I'll say his
You
music
don't
will
make it wouldn't
always
make
be great.
sense.
Yes, yes, his music will always be great. That
She's a
is
fan.
without a
She's
doubt.
a fan. Relax, relax in the chat.
But no, that brings up that's a great topic, man. His music should change. Would is a strong word. Should is the best word. Truthfully with that. So look, man, I don't even know what to dig into that. You want to dig in that? We're gonna dig into that because I did say it was raunchy like the ranch. So I don't know if anybody still on Twitter, X, anything like that, or been paying attention because I think this is getting outright dangerous. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are beefing again. I don't know why, but it's got to the point where they're talking about each other's kids, and that's. I thought there was some red lines there, but what have you been hearing about? You got to talk about it because it's popular. What are you
It's
talking?
crazy, man.
Tell me what you think. What you say, Hal?
I don't really know how I started, but I saw some clips, man. I saw some clips. You know, Cardi B is out there really going off the hook, really going off the handle, saying she's gonna whoop everybody ass. You know, she's very violent and aggressive. Nicki Minaj and her going back and forth on Twitter. Again, I don't know where it stemmed from, but the kid disrespect jabs going back and forth. They can't do that, man. You know, bad enough people are talking about Cardi White being pregnant by Stephon Diggs and how she been, doing her thing, to each their own. But to talk about the kids, I can't condone that, man. I can't support that. But I like the fact that Nicki Minaj is still trying to stay relevant by going at Cardi B, because yeah,
That's
she's
exactly what.
definitely she's definitely she's definitely using this as a way to stay relevant. She's talking about dropping an album in March. It ain't even Christmas yet.
March. What? So have you heard? I
She
have
she
not.
put on X a date for March.
Full transparency. I'm not listened to Cardi B's album yet. Okay, full transparency. But what I hear is she's going hard in the paint on everybody and anybody in that joint, going crazy. So I'm going to take this week to listen to it. Um,
I think she got postpartum, man. I think she going through some postpartum shit.
it's like Partisan Fontaine wrote a bunch of her songs, and he's a great writer. So I'm hearing good things about this album. But I think I'm at the age where I got to be in that atmosphere, right? I got to be in that mental space, and I don't think I have the drama. I don't have a drama filled mental space right now for that. You said she going straight out afterwards after her baby arrives. I don't know what they're doing with their life. I don't know what they're doing with their life. I
That's
pulled it
that's
up because it's
hilarious. She's going
topic.
straight out now. She's going straight out now.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
She
It's
was she
hard.
was
It's hard.
outside twerking. She was outside twerking, real pregnant the other day.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I didn't write up here, but I want to say real quick. Shout out to the young homie. The album is great. Songs on there are really good. That's what I've been hearing. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about it. I just haven't been listening to it because I'm not in that space yet. I'll give it a listen this week. But shout out to the young stallion there, Kai Cenat, for breaking the world record for 1 million subs in a month with his Mafiathon 3. The man literally had everybody on there from Kevin Hart to LeBron James to Marlon Wayans. to whole bands. He had Ray J who was there doing a shower scene to his song "One Wish." It was crazy. I mean, it was just. I mean, look, these younger kids are figuring out a way to really break the cycle of 9 to 5 by doing content creation and creating their own economy. And we need to, as the older generation, pay attention to what they're doing and also help them along the way and root for their success. Because I really am proud of proud of the young bulls for doing their thing and figuring out life on their own terms and doing it their own way. But just I'm gonna just give you the math half. Okay, a Twitch sub is 4.99. Okay, it's 4.99. So just take four. Now they have different ways they do it. Just take a million times 4.99. They don't get all of it, but I'm just take what's a million times five.
5 million.
Don't you have to pick up your calculator? Don't do that.
I didn't pick up the calculator.
So you better pick up your calculator. What's a million times five? It's $5 million. $5 million in a month.
Hey man, definitely doing something that's historic. You can't hate on it either way. I think it's great. It's
I
inspirational,
can't breathe. I
and
think about it.
and
I
and
can't
and
breathe.
what he's doing
But
is positive, man. You know, it's a positive platform, and that's what I like about it. And that's why a lot of the celebrities that are getting involved with him do it with no shame, because it's just all positive creation. You know, nobody's out there doing anything wrong to anybody. Nobody's putting other platforms down to get ahead. I think it's really good, man. And I wish that, that whole conglomerate the best success. And, hopefully people can follow behind it. I don't think there's going to be a streamer that can match this type of impact like he did in a long time.
there's always gonna be somebody to go back and come back later on and break the records. But for you to go out and set the records is a phenomenal thing. And for him, like you said, for do it in a
Yeah.
positive way, in a positive manner, and doing it their own way, is kudos to them, bro. Kudos to them. That's just a lot of money in a short period of time. It just goes to show that you can get it however you want to in this current economy. And if you want to break free, figure out a way to do so without losing yourself. But man,
What I like about Castanet and his platform, and like, Drewski and those guys, they're creating original content. They're not necessarily
mhm.
building a platform all about the gossip shit. The whole gossipy, chatty patty network is starting to get a little exhausting to me. Like, I don't really care about what rappers snitching or anything like that. Like, create some content. I think Kai's great. I think Drewski's funny as hell. And hopefully they can keep doing their thing, man. Because we definitely gonna keep
Yeah, they're gonna
grinding
do
and
it.
doing what we gotta do.
All right, so look, let's get into this deep dive really quick. And we normally don't get into these deep dives like this, but it has to be done because of one, we live in the DMV. Two, everybody here is affected by everything. And three, that's the only thing on a lot of people's minds right now. So look, I did put this here. Um, Let me just say this. All right. Aren't you tired of these old people ruining our country? Who's tired of Who's tired of them old people ruining our country right now? We talk about, just really quick. We already know that we're going into week 2 of a government shutdown, but I can't be the only one tired of these old people ruining our country. Just doing irreparable damage to everything we got going on. So, government shutdown again is heading to week 2. Both sides are pointing the finger at, and no one is doing their job, but they're still getting paid. How has it affected you? Um, how do you think it will impact communities specifically in the DMV area? But if you're in the chat, just chime in. If you've seen anything or heard anything, we already know prices and stuff are going up. That's just common knowledge. How are you dealing with it? like you said, Sinead, just call it out, call it like it is. Old white men running the country and ruining it. How has that affected you, Hef, from what you've seen thus far? Because I know you got a lot to say on that because we're in the same industry.
You know, it's really getting tiring to see, especially in my industry and just in the climate of everything. You know what I'm saying? And like when you refer to, first off, asking the question about old people, the decisions that they're making, and the way that everything is spiraling down and trickling down is going to affect us and our kids way beyond them. And that's the thing that frustrates me, because these people are fucking it up for other people who are working hard. Hold on one second. I think my sound was just a little blocked, but are working hard and are contributing each and every day. But what I'm seeing is the fact that, like, the way that I was telling Shanae earlier, not to ramble, I feel like the goalpost from the rich to the middle class is being broadened further and further each and every day. Each and every day. And the fact that you can make six figures in Maryland, let's talk about, like you said, this county, you know, Baltimore County, Prince George's County, and not even really be able to pay your bills and afford to invest is kind of scary, you know. And that's kind of what's frustrating me, because now a Hyundai SUV costs 60 grand, and that's just on a bigger scale. But everything is just so broad now. Like, you think you can get to a certain position, but right now it's like I gotta put in another to work to be able to retire. I could put in another, you know, maybe 7 or 8. That margin and that goalpost keeps expanding. So go ahead and tell me what you think, though, man. But that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, yeah. With all the choices that are being made, it is moving the goalposts. So the middle class has. I'm not going to say it's. They say the middle class is shrinking. Um, it is definitely shrinking because in order for you to be in the middle class, to like you said, the goalpost has moved. The middle class used to be like if you didn't have to make six figures to be in the middle class. And maybe it's because we feel the strain, especially in our
But,
area, because it is
but why is
fairly
it that?
expensive.
But why is it that we ride down the street? I was just saying real quick. Why is it that we ride down the street and we can see homes like in other casinos? I saw some homes that were starting in the upper 600s, and these homes
Hmm.
in like Texas and North Carolina might cost 250. Like, Maryland is getting crazy to live in and
Yeah,
survive.
that's the economy. That's the economy in which we live in this area, and it's going to be different all across the country. And so, yes, it is tighter, and it's a different type of market that we live here. And there are definitely reasons behind that because of the different decisions that are being made. But more importantly, um, I'm not going to get into the weeds. It is a tried and true thing on how you change property values in order to move certain people out of the area. But I'll say this back to the main question: getting tired of these old people ruining our country. I think it is shameful when we're at a place where we cannot sit down and have a conversation about making the necessary changes or coming to an amicable agreement on things that you like and things that don't like and things I like and things I don't like in order to move this country forward. When we're at a stalemate at where we are, that means the communication is broken down. That means there are bigger issues at hand, and no one is willing to compromise. When we're at work, we're forced to make compromises. We're forced to make decisions. We're in relationships with our significant others. We're forced to make compromise. We're forced to make decisions based on the betterment of us moving forward, not only as a unit, not only as coworkers and employees, but also making the company prosperous and successful. We are voting people in who are unwilling to make compromises, which does again irreparable damage to not just my generation, not just us right now, but it's our kids and our kids' kids who make it even more difficult for them not just to be successful, but to exist in a way that it doesn't consume them to worry about how they can just pay their bills and just exist and just be able to live. Now, like you said, the economies are different in different areas because of um, the opportunities. So we live in the DMV where we live in a heavily um, government sustained area. Government contractors, private contractors, all reliable on government funding. And so when you do things like shut down the government, like we're doing right now, it does irreparable damage to not only just the economy as a whole and the government as a whole, but particularly to this area because now it changes the dynamic of people being able to survive in this area in a nutshell. Right? We're in the automotive
Well,
industry, and,
the
and so
problem is,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the problem is that in this area in particular, in the DMV, there's things that are being set up as cash registers for this, like straight up hands in our pockets every day, all day, for the working class. And I say it's for the working class because you're not gonna be able to catch me on 695 every day or going through tolls every day getting camera tickets unless I'm driving to work. Okay, I might be breaking the law. Let's be fair. You know, you got to stay under the speed. But the only reason why I'm even there is because I'm driving to work. No, follow me. That's an example of the police don't even have to be there to collect that money. And now I'm getting also people sending me on social media. They've got increased speeding tickets for like camera violations when you drive past the workers. The way you can get like a ticket for $800 for one violation. So now you give me a speeding ticket that costs probably half of what my rent costs. And then if I can't pay
Mm,
that, you take away my license. Or if I can't pay my toll fees, you take away my license and now I can't get to work. Like these are the decisions that come from the old people that are making the decisions to ruin our country. You know what I'm saying? On a smaller scale. Maryland is a very
look,
expensive state, bro. I'm in the office and I have a worksheet, right? And I'm going over a price for a vehicle with a client, right? Real quick. And the client says, what are these non-tax fees? These non-tax fees are ridiculous. What are these? And he points down to the worksheet. And I say to him directly, and I got instant credibility because I say to him, that's for the state, sir. That's for the state of Maryland. They got to get theirs. And he automatically put his shoulders back and was like, okay, okay, because that's the registration fee, the non-tax fee. So that goes right to the state, and that's again really high because of where we live. So go ahead, bro.
look, and Mike makes a very good comment. What we think is ruining, others see as saving. I'm not happy, but I know other people are, right? And the truth of the matter is,
Interesting.
again, there's always going to be a difference of opinion when you come to these different things. What we do know is the cost of living has increased significantly, in recent times. Everything is going up. And if you own a car and you have insurance in Maryland, DC, or Virginia, or anywhere for that matter, especially in our area, you have in the past 6 months experienced a drastic increase in your automobile insurance. I know that I have. But um, the difference in what we're talking about is that, okay, well, all of these costs are going up, wages aren't moving. The minimum wage is what it is. Wages aren't going up in response to that. Wages aren't going up into inflation, and we're still paying a fairly higher interest rate. I know it's higher than what we've been used to for 20 years because, again, we've been spoiled with low 0, 2.9, 1.9 interest rates because of the economic conditions that we were in trying to save ourselves. But again, these are the same people that are causing even more irreparable damage by not being able to communicate. not being able to come to the table and not being able to come to an agreement. Because what happens with compromise is that I don't like everything, you don't like everything, but we have to agree on something to move forward. And if we're not even having a conversation and coming to the table to move things forward, that's a problem. That's a problem because if you work for a company and they told you you have to figure it out with your other coworkers and you didn't figure it out, what happens to you? You get replaced. They bring somebody else in who can figure it out, who can work amicably with the other people that work there, and they get the job done. And this is not the way to do business. And so we need to figure out and come with a comprehensive plan on how we can get better representation across the board, and better representation for the things that matter to us. We should never be in a situation that we're in right now. I know this happened a few times before, but this should never happen at all, especially when we're talking about something this important and this long. And look, people got to fight for what they believe in, and they got to make a stand on what they think they should. Um, but to not sit, to not even talk about it is a problem. It's a huge problem because now we're paying for it. Now all the people that are out here working hard, your everyday people are paying for it. And so what I'm really pissed at is that we don't have any leaders in either side to be able to make things happen um, on both ends. And so I'm just tired of this generation as they're on their way out, robbing, stealing, and pilfering whatever's left of the country and whatever money they can take with them. That's where I'm at with it. It shut down to show me more things that I care not to care not to see. So, ooh, yeah. What you? I mean, I know I said a whole lot. What you think? What you
No,
say,
that's
man?
well said. I think everything you said definitely made a lot of sense. I think you made a lot of great points. And where I stand at right now is like I'm not going to depend on either party or any of these old people, whoever's running the country, to dictate, you know, my future and my children or my family's well-being and their future. Like I think we have to put a lot of our hope in our own hands. And I speak for myself and like really pay attention to invest, how to best right now for my money, because you can't keep going backwards in 2025 and beyond. Like we got to get financially smarter. I talk about it with Shanae every day, and I got to do a better job. But just doing the best that we can to set up our families, man. Like we can't have our behind us not having a better foundation. We have to just keep doing better and pay attention to what's going on around you, because the decisions that they are making can affect you, but you have to be prepared. You can't be blind to decisions, because what happens, you get a shutdown. A shutdown doesn't provide any for anybody. So you got to make sure you have your own resources or you have your own tools, and keep staying educated and knowing
Hell
what's going on so you can take care of your family and take care of yourself.
yeah, hell yeah. More of the story is shut down or no shutdown. Find a way to create multiple streams of income. Find another way so that you're not these things won't
Yeah.
affect you in the way that they should. And one of the things that hold on, let me find it really quick that Mama have said, uh, money talks, it's straight facts. One of the things that you can be well sure of is that if you have enough money, you have enough wealth, shutdown or no shutdown will have no effect on your livelihood and your well being. And so you just need to get to that point where these bad decisions that are being made outside of your control have no effect on your livelihood and your well being. And so maybe we should get more into that and teaching more into about multiple streams of income. Oh, there's plenty of podcasts for it. We ain't gonna get into that shit. There's plenty of other podcasts for that. But show different avenues of multiple ways of income and streaming, and leverage your time for your money and make sure that you're investing in yourself. So look, let me take this ticker off because every time I look at it, I get more and more upset. because again, we're talking about leveraging the future of our kids. I just want it to be. I want kids to have a better, more opportunities than I had coming up, not less, not less. Let's stop making it harder for the next generation to come up, um, for them to have the similar or better success than we had. Every time that we've always left, every other generation has left legacies of greatness and opportunity. In the 50s and 60s, Martin Luther King marched for the Civil Rights Act in 1965, which left a legacy of opportunity for us to work and do better than their generation did and the generations before us did. And so let's make sure we try to figure out ways so we can impact globally. Globally, yeah, but also locally and home to give opportunities for kids that we don't have. And the internet is doing it. Kai Cenat's one of those biggest examples of how the internet's given opportunity to the younger generation to free themselves of, the paradigm of having to work for an employer or doing a 9 to 5, whether it be content creation or whether it be music production or whatever it is that's getting you the opportunity to not to able to write your own check, sustain your own self outside of waiting or hoping that others will do it for you or pay you to do that for your time. So, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Um, read over a lot tonight. More than anything, I think, again, it puts the influence on what I just said, figuring out a way to break free of the chains of the 9 to 5 and the struggles of paying somebody else, paying yourself. What do you got to take? What do you got to have to close us out, man?
Nah, man. I think the biggest thing is just we gotta stay educated. Everybody, man. We have to stay educated on where the money's going, where it's coming from. How you can make yourself get into the best position that you can be for your family because you don't want to get left behind. I've been really looking at everything at a bigger scope, and it's like this is a very transformative era. I think 50
Yeah.
years from now, looking back at this time, a lot of people are going to make their families generationally wealthy, including these streamers. We sit out here,
Mhm.
K Dizzle and myself have been doing this podcast for a couple years now. And there's a million podcasts out there. And one thing I can say is keep doing what you want to do, keep creating, keep doing the best that you can because it could be another, path of income. And we're gonna definitely, like I said, keep grinding. But just stay smart, don't be out here making bad decisions and getting left behind, man, because other people are coming up in a time to where it's nasty out here, man. But
For sure.
don't be the one that takes the make of, but
Speaking of family and and finding the ways to find other streams of income, what I want to make sure you guys are aware of is that you are subscribed to Health Streams Media and are following the Climb Back series, which has been going all crazy. It's got a lot of new things, a lot of new interviews that are on the way, but more importantly, it's going to support good information, good knowledge, and good stories that people are coming out here creating their own economies so that they're not affected when the economy goes south or goes bad. It shows their successes and their failures and how their failures got them to successes. And so make sure big up to F continuing to grind and continuing to make that happen. And we're seeing the fruits of his labor as we're coming along. And I wanted to make sure again that you guys make sure you're over there. You go like, comment, subscribe on each and every video. I do have some stuff working. Shout out to my sisters. We're starting a podcast with my siblings. If you don't know, I've got four sisters,
yeah.
two older and two younger, and we're going to be talking about a lot of the dynamics that we had growing up, and but more importantly about family and relationships and connection. And so that is something that is near and dear to my heart. You'll see a lot of stuff coming for that. Shout out to it. It's Roots, Boots, and Wings. It's crazy. I know. Don't ask me. Roots, Boots, and Wings. We'll give you links and stuff to that. But again, let me make sure you go and follow Have Streams Media on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere because good content is coming. It's rolling out really soon. K Dizzle DC is everywhere, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. More content's coming as you see. If you want to join the All Dressed Up podcast, or just make sure you like, comment, subscribe where we are, so make sure you don't miss a single episode or notification when we go live. Make sure you hit that bell. Submit your info to alldressuppodcast@gmail.com if you want a topic or you want to come on the show. We are all about bringing people on. We haven't had somebody on in a little bit, but that's going to change. I know in a heartbeat. Lock this number in your phone. 301-857-1757. So when you see us and you see us on, you hear us, text that number. We'll send you the link to bring you on. Roland, who's always coming in here, spitting facts, not fiction. Mama Hef, Shanae, who's always in here, Arizona Ron, everybody, all of our people who love us, come on and share their thoughts and opinions and views. We had some crazy people too. But it's been a crazy and wild ride, and we're going to keep doing it until the wheels fall off. But more importantly, we do it because of you. We enjoy the time we spend with you. We can share our thoughts and opinions and views, and you can show them with us and tell us where we're wrong and tell us we're right, or just give it a different viewpoint for us to think about that somebody else may need to hear. So, with that being said, Hef, you got something positive to send us out on, man, my man?
Hey man, everything K Dizzle said is what it is, man. We have guests coming up, so please stay tuned. Much love to everybody that checked out the episode tonight. I know we took off a couple of weeks, but we love y'all very much. K Dizzle DC, check them out. The podcast is going to be crazy. Climbback series is steady doing what it does, man. But y'all have a great night, man. Go Bills. After tonight, I'm deleting my FanDuel. We're talking about smart money.
And you know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, they know.